Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And Humza Yousaf has had a bit of a self-own. He's opened his mouth and said something, which we can just look back on now and ridicule, because of course we can. Because he never thinks anything before he says it, just the mouth he opens, words tumble out. And there's virtually no thought involved, is there? You can see it with the old glazed look in the eyes, like a rabbit in the headlight. Well, he said that... with the announcement of his policies to come, for over the next few years, that his premiership will piss people off. Well, no change there then. Everything he's done for the past 10 years in politics has pissed people off. But I love the way he's calling it his premiership. He's not the premier. He's the Lord Mayor of Scotland, effectively. He's worth half a Sadiq Khan. He's got a smaller budget and he oversees fewer people. And then he's called, it's a premiership now, is it? Since when has it been a premiership? The man, I tell you what he is. He's someone in conference football who dreams of playing Man United and Arsenal. That's who he is. He's not conference football, but he's League One at best. He's not any higher than that, to use that footballing analogy. And yet he's sitting there and he goes, I'm so powerful, everything I'm going to do is going to piss people off. If, as the First Minister, your job, as you're setting out to do things, is to piss people off, then you're not doing your job as a politician, are you? You're forcing, you are doing all stick, no carrot. The job is, of course, to bring people along with you and say these are the necessary changes, not go out there to annoy them. And of course, what will happen is, in a few years' time, you'll be sitting there going, why have we been voted out of office? I mean, I said we're going to piss people off, but there's no reason for them to punish us. Guy's a moron, isn't he? But we'll have a look and see why he's a moron, and then ridicule him, because he is, isn't he? Here goes. So, this headline really, isn't it? Humza Yousaf warns his premiership will piss people off. Now, he doesn't need to warn that. We all know it. And this is the problem. He's sitting there, and he's saying that be prepared for all the awfulness that's to come. Well, the trouble is, he's not doing anything new. Every time he stands and opens his mouth, people are pissed off. People are annoyed. People are wishing he wouldn't. People are wishing he'd shut up and go away. And I'm not talking about the population at large. I'm just talking about his own backbenchers. Which is why in a few months' time he'll be going, oh, why have we lost? Why have we lost, eh? Anyway, Humza Yousaf has predicted he will piss off some people. And for some, read all. When he sets out his vision. Has he got vision? He hasn't got vision, come off it. For his premiership next month, that includes action on climate change, which will make no difference whatsoever. The First Minister also hinted tax rises could follow his first programme for government. You're already paying the most tax in the home nations, and he's saying they've got to go up, which we all know, including a 22.5% increase in council tax. Good luck. He said one of the reasons he didn't want Kate Forbes to remain Finance Secretary after he narrowly beat in the SNP leadership race was her aversion to tax rises. No, that's not it at all. It's because you did not want to give her a senior role and heighten her profile, knowing that she would be the one who'd be taking the job from you. You don't have enough foresight to understand tax rise questions and anything like that. You just didn't want her there because you're scared. You're scared of that tiny little woman. Explaining why he'd chosen his close ally Shona Robertson for the role, a woman who can barely count, he said, you have to have your finance secretary absolutely 100% aligned with your vision and what you're looking to do. And Shona was absolutely that person. She was a lickspittle. She's an innumerate lickspittle who doesn't know what she's doing. But then, none of them do. This is the SNP, the ship of fools. There were some differences around progressive taxation with Kate. Anyway, that was his excuse. And he's moaning about progressive taxation. And then the SNP are taxing the poor in Glasgow with the poor man's car tax. Anyway, Mr. Yousaf made the comments on the Holyrood Sources podcast on Tuesday evening. He also confirmed the SNP Green joint government deal would stay in place to the end of 2026, despite Miss Forbes and Fergus Ewing and every single backbencher and most of the party demanding changes or at least at the end to it, or at least a vote on it at conference. And that is his big weakness. That is his Achilles heel. He's saying it's going to stay. He's personally aligning himself to this policy. And if this policy is reversed and there's a vote and they reject it, that's a personal rejection of him. That's a humiliation for him. Mr. Yousaf said, Mr. Ewing's increasingly strident public criticism of the deal and other Scottish Government issues doesn't help our party or help our movement. Do you know, Ewing is attracting more people than you are. He said he didn't think the deal would be discussed at the SNP's autumn conference. That's his way of saying he hoped the deal wouldn't be discussed at the autumn conference, because he knows if it is and it goes to a vote, he is screwed royally. Put to him that he hadn't shown enough conviction as a leader to date, Mr. Yousaf said most politicians ended up becoming people pleasers in search of votes. Well, he isn't. Got to be honest, he's never been out one. He's not, to be out to go to please people. People annoyer, yeah, but people pleaser, never. He says, but you absolutely, as a leader, as First Minister, you have to have conviction. Well, you've had a conviction, haven't you, for driving without insurance, and choose a side. Yeah, but in your case, it's always the wrong side. He said there's a number of issues where in the programme for government that will be completely clear. Well, yeah, empty pages, because you haven't got any ideas, have you? He says, I'll give you one example. And by one example, it means the only example. He says, I think the biggest existential issue our planet faces is the climate emergency. Really? There's an emergency, is there, Humza? Well, you better get those private jets closed down then. Let's close them down. Let's close Disneyland down. Let's close Vegas down. You go ahead and lead the charge to ban private jets to cure this, quote, emergency. He says, you can't sit on the fence. You can't be mealy-mouthed about it. You have to pick a side. Okay, then, pick a side. Are you pro or anti private jets during the time of this climate emergency, as you call it? He says, I don't think I've ever seen a summer where every single week you've seen, with such visibility, the impact of climate emergency right across the world. Yeah, I mean, the climate emergency has been terrible in this country this summer. I mean, I can't go out in that 40-degree heat, and toasting eggs on my car. He's full of shit, isn't he? And he doesn't understand that weather and climate are not the same thing. That's because he's thick. Anyway, he says, and you've a Prime Minister literally saying that he's on the side of the motorist, sitting in Margaret Thatcher's old Rolls Royce and making it a wedge issue. Yeah, because until you can come up with a viable alternative, which you can't because you're too stupid, you are full of it. What are you going to say? Everyone's got to go back to the horse and cart, which I will point out is actually way, way worse than driving cars. This is a time for politicians to take more action to tackle the climate, and he's using the word emergency again. Not less actions. I think he means fewer, but then, of course, he's quite stupid and doesn't understand English. He said, so I will be choosing sides because that's what you have to do. And frankly, that's going to piss off some people. Well, you're already pissed off half your own party, so why not piss off everyone else? Asked about the controversy over the investment firm Baillie Gifford sponsoring the Edinburgh International Books Festival. No, don't see a problem with that. Which has seen walkouts by authors unhappy with its links to fossil fuels. He defended their right to do so, but also the sponsorship. But here's the thing. You show me a world without oil, and I'll show you a desolate, sad place where people are dying in their millions. He said, I don't think we would have an Edinburgh International Book Festival if we didn't have Baillie Gifford and others supporting it. I think these things are absolutely a judgment call for the festival to make, but ultimately if they are on the journey to disinvestment in firms of fossil fuels, I think that's a good thing. Where this is a man so abjectly against fossil fuels, and yet the only reason his country could ever be independent is oil. The man is a fool. Man is an arse, and he's a liar. He's just a plain up liar. He says, to be frank, well, your name's not Frank, so don't be Frank, be Humza. He said, we don't know what the future holds either. It could be challenging, but it could be more challenging before it gets easier. Oh, really? What an idiot. He's such an idiot. He said, I've just had this literally said to me quite a number of times, are you guys just the same then? That's the challenging for us. Yes, you are just the same, only worse. Reflecting on polling numbers, he said he had many challenging sleepless nights thinking about how we rest ourselves from what's a difficult situation. Well, if you want to improve your polling results, Humza, resign. If you resign, the SNP's polls will increase. There you go. What are you going to put first? You or the party? think we know the answer to that one, don't we? I'm going to round off and I'm going to come up. Humza Yousaf is utterly deluded if he thinks he's got any chance of doing well in the next election, the general election. He's going to lose Rutherglen and Hamilton West. He's already lost 2 councils. The general election will wipe out a hell of a lot of seats. And I think the conference will be a trying time for him. It's basically going to be probably the last conference before the next general election. The people in the party know that he is not a leader and he is not going to do well in an election, and they will want to change their leader to give the new one, and we'll call her Kate, chance to bed in as leader, sort out a team, and then push to lead into the next general election. And when he comes out about talking about, I'm deliberately setting out to piss people off, what the hell does he expect to happen? And he's got no political nous, put it this way. Sturgeon would never have announced in advance that she's going to piss people off. You know, Thatcher did piss people off, but she never said in advance she was going to do it, because these people aren't stupid. Humza, alas, all too stupid, isn't he? What a moron. Anyway, I shall round off there. Thank you very much for watching, and if you have got to the end, then do please hit the subscribe subscribe button. Hit either. Hit the key, hit the button. I don't care. But please subscribe. It really, really makes a difference to the channel. Please like this video. That also really helps this video get out there so more people can see it. And until next time, stay safe, stay well. And remember, Humza is only got a year left in the job at most. Bye.